15 races around the world and over 50 professional women from 18 countries, with one Ironman World Championship title. This historic and iconic location where myths and legends are born and grown out of the volcanic landscape and the island winds. This is the 2025 Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. Aloha and welcome to A Fighting Chance presented by HOKA. I'm Laura Siddall here with a very special edition of the World Championship, A Fighting Chance. There has been some incredible racing by the women over the past year. Records were smashed and the standard soared and warning shots were fired, all leading to the big island. Anne Reichman delivered the first sign winning Ironman South Africa, but it was probably Ironman Texas that delivered the first big clash. Kat Matthews winning over Taylor Knibb. On to Hamburg, and what a special day that was. A rematch of Nice with Laura Philipp and Matthews. Phillips prevailing as she had in Nice to take the win, but to do so she had to do it in an Ironman world best time, 8 hours, 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Matthews also went under the previous world best to finish second, and on debut, Norway's Solveig Lofseth became the third person to go under the world's best, and in doing so became the fastest female on Ironman debut. Lofseth would go on to win Ironman Lake Placid in just her second Ironman, firmly establishing herself as a favourite for Kona. It was touch and go for a few of the women, Jackie Herring securing her spot winning Ironman Cairns, and then the 2022 Ironman World Champion Chelsea Sodaro getting the job done to validate at Ironman Kalmar, the last qualifying race. However, one athlete who didn't make it this year was the 2019 Ironman World Champion Annie Haug, who announced her retirement. The last time the women raced in Kona was 2023, when Lucy Charles-Barclay finally secured the world title after 4 second-place finishes. Annie Haug was second, but as mentioned won't be racing having retired, and Laura Philipp was third in 2023, but of course is now our current Ironman World Champion. Of course, Lucy Charles-Barclay and Philipp are both vying as defending champions to take the win in 2025, and will be joined by the rest of the top 4 from 24, Matthews, Sodaro and Marjolaine Pierre. Matthews will be hoping for third time lucky in Kona. She's not had the best of luck on the island the last 2 times, but has of course previously delivered World Championship podiums, finishing second in St George and second in Nice. Taylor Knibb is also back for this year. Knibb was 4th on Ironman debut in Kona in 23 and has clear goals to take the title in 25. So whilst we have champions returning, we also have a whole stack of rookies to the Ironman World Championships and to the Big Island. Making their Ironman World Championship debut, Solveig Lofseth, Lisa Pertera and Holly Lawrence. Whilst Kona rookies include 4th place finisher in Nice, Marjolaine Pierre, Marta Sanchez and Ironman South Africa winner Annie Reichman. Reichman is in the mix for the overall Ironman Pro Series title, along with American Jackie Herring, who returns to Kona for the first time since 2014. So let's have a look at how the 2025 Ironman World Championship may turn out this year. Lucy Charles-Barclay has led out the water every time she's raced in Kona. Lauren Brandon has been the only person to swim with her, but she no longer races. In 2023, Knibb was 1 minute 40 seconds behind Charles-Barclay, but recently in London over 2 kilometres was able to hang on Charles-Barclay's feet. The next question will be how far back will defending champion Laura Philipp be? She was over 7 minutes back in 2023, but in Hamburg this year swam with Kat Matthews, which completely changed the dynamics of the race. However, there was also less depth of women in that race in Hamburg compared to Kona, and no Charles-Barclay pushing the pace off the front. We'll possibly see the likes of Matthews, Sodaro, Lofseth, together with Lisa Pertera, and perhaps Marjolaine Pierre. Phillips will want to be in this group too, or at least within touching distance. In 2023, Charles-Barclay was dominant on the bike, but everyone has raised their game and knows too well how Lucy likes to race. It's likely that there is more of an impact from group dynamics too than in previous years as the depth of the women's field has increased. Nib raced relatively conservatively in 2023, her first Ironman, but I don't think we'll see the same this year. Depending on the swim, Lucy Charles-Barclay and Taylor Nib could be a strong duo working together on the bike. Then it will be who forms the chase packs. Packs aren't necessarily better, as can often lead to athletes pushing too hard and suffering later on in the race. Whereas Phillip, who may be on her own out the water a little bit behind, might be able to control her power and ride her own race. And then can the Kona rookies, Pertera, Marta Sanchez, Lofseth and Pierre navigate the challenge of the Queen K and still be riding strong from the airport back to T2? In 2023, only 3 athletes ran sub 3 hours for the marathon, but that has been well and truly smashed in Hamburg, where Phillip, Matthews and Lofseth all running sub 2:40 or close. Charles-Barclay has also raised her game on the run, and we saw that in London, where she had the fastest run split. But the heat and the run hits differently in Kona off the back of the bike. However, all the women know what it will take to win. For a deeper look at our athletes going head-to-head, let's head over to hear what our very own statsman, Sam Twine, has to say.
Now it's time to take a deeper look at 3 of our top contenders. We've got the top 2 from Nice last year, Laura Philipp and Kat Matthews, who have had some insane head-to-head battles in their last 2 matchups, and 2023 Kona champion Lucy Charles-Barclay, who is back after missing Nice through injury. Starting with the swim, and Lucy Charles-Barclay is the greatest swimmer we've ever had in the sport. She's led out at every world championship she's raced, so the question will be, by how much? Matthews and Charles-Barclay have only raced once over the full distance, and that was in 2023, where Lucy took the crown and Kat ended up DNFing just over halfway through the bike. Kat lost 4.5 minutes, and that is right in the range I'd expected to lose this time round, while for Phillip, in her last 2 matchups with Charles-Barclay, has lost an average of 7 minutes. The German will be hoping to replicate Hamburg, where she came out of the water with Matthews. However, that seems more unlikely in a field that is stacked with swim power, compared to Hamburg, where Matthews had to drive the pace and led out of the water. Onto the bike, and they are all fairly evenly matched. In their last 2 World Championship matchups, Charles-Barclay has outridden Phillip by an average of just under 3 minutes. However, that includes the 5-minute penalty the German got in 2022. Matthews is still relatively untested in Kona after the DNF in 2023. Back in Nice, Phillip outrode her by over 3 minutes, but all that damage was done on the climb, and Matthews actually put 35 seconds into Phillip over the final 100 kilometers. Matthews has elevated her bike again this year, moving to be coached by Alex Dowsett. She was only 22 seconds down on Taylor Nib's world record bike split in Texas, and she rode away from Phillip and Lofseth in Hamburg. As they're so evenly matched on the bike, we may not see any of these 3 come together, and the fireworks will likely come on the run. Phillip and Matthews have both taken their run to new levels this year, with Phillip setting a new world record going 2:38 in Hamburg, while Matthews went 2:40, running 8 minutes faster than her previous PB. With that run in Hamburg, Phillip is arguably the best Ironman runner we've ever seen. She's had 4 of the top 10 fastest splits in history, but she hasn't always ran well in Kona. In her 3 appearances, she's ran over 3 hours twice and then a solid 2:55 in 2023, but she still lost 7 minutes to Annie Haug on that day. And in comparison, none of those 3 splits cracked the top 10 Kona run splits. All that is missing from her running resume is the Kona run course record, which is held by Annie Haug at 2:48.23. She's running the best she ever has, so this could be the year she gets it. Matthews didn't make it to the run in 2023, but has run sub 250 twice in Texas, which isn't exactly comparable, but shows she can handle the heat, and she only lost 2.5 minutes to Phillip in Hamburg, which came just 5 weeks after a record-setting day in Texas. Lucy is the weakest runner of the 3, but she only lost 2 minutes to Phillip on the run in 2023, and she looks like she's in the best run shape of her life. She set back-to-back 5K PBs over the summer and has won her last 2 races on the run in London and Oropesa. Phillip and Matthews have had 2 crazy battles in their last 2 races, and with Lucy Charles-Barclay arguably having her greatest regular season ever, this race is going to be wild, but they're going up against a stacked field that has 9 of the top 10 from Nice, plus 3-time Ironman 70.3 world champion Taylor Nib, and Olympians Solveig Lofseth and Lisa Pertera, who are making their Ironman World Championship debut. This race is going to be crazy.
Thanks, Sam, for your insights on the race. Not only that World Championship title on the line, but also valuable points for our overall Ironman Pro Series, with 6,000 points for our winner. So let's take a look at the rankings and how they stand as we head into Kona. Kat Matthews is at the top of the rankings, looking to go back-to-back series wins, having won in 2024. Matthews has 2 Ironmans and 2 70.3 races and has only dropped 120 points in what could have been a perfect score. Then we have 2 athletes in their first year of racing Ironman. Solveig Losseth is in second and Lisa Pertera in third. Like Matthews, they have 2 Ironmans and 2 70.3s, counting so far out of a possible 5 races athletes are allowed. American Jackie Herring is in fourth, and German Anne Reichmann is in fifth. There are 3 athletes in the top 10, Marta Sanchez, Reagan Hollyoak and Lotta Wilms, who have 2 Ironmans but only 1 70.3, so have good opportunity to add significant points if they score well at the Ironman World Championships and the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. All of the top 10 have qualified for Kona and the 70.3 World Championships. So let's take a look now behind the scenes on how some of our female athletes have been preparing for Kona.
Hi, TriGPT. How do I make sure I have a fast run in Kona?
Well, Lisa, embrace your inner leopard. Blend in with your surroundings until you're ready to attack.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, TriGPT. How do I make race day less lonely?
Well, Lucy, stop swimming like a mermaid torpedo and join the pack.
Never gonna happen.
Hi, TriGPT. How do I get an aero advantage on the bike?
Well, Taylor, you may have been to the wind tunnel for the first time on your aero bike, but rumor has it, more riding and less conversation to the media motos.
Okay, that's really funny.
Hey, TriGPT. What's the key to a podium finish here in Kona?
Well, Marjolaine, according to my fancy calculations, less battle braids, more power, the looser the hair, the higher the finish.
Some button braids, please, with Lucy.
Join me for what is sure to be an incredible day of racing for the women. You can catch all the action on Ironman Now, Outside TV, DAZN and The Keep. Mahalo, and I'll see you next time.